welcome to the Make Sense podcast. We are your hosts. It's your boy OneeSwayze.
And it's me, QB.
And here today, what we're here for is to make it make sense, allow you all to share your sense, and we all going to make sense in the end. So once again, the topic today is business structure and why the business structure is so important. And we'll elaborate on a lot of business structures as well and touch base on the pros and cons as well.
So why is business structure so important, man? It's the foundation of your business, right? So you want to make sure that you take accountability, right? But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're safe.
True.
Personally.
That's important.
So before we get into all that other stuff, we're gonna talk with our guests. We got a couple of special guests here today. They're gonna tell us a little bit about themselves. We're gonna start with Miss Ma.
Can you all hear me?
We can.
All right. Well, hello. How y'all doing today?
We're great. How you doing?
I'm good. A little nervous, but I'll get out of it. Right. Well, my name is Majory Registre, but I do go by my. Been called that since I was young. I am an artist, and my art and business is called Art by Majory Registre. And what I do is I create luxury artwork, and I'm also a muralist. So I design your walls or any space that you need me to, or football fields, whatever you need me to do. That's what I do.
Cool. Oh, that's cool. Cool. The next person, we can start with Miss Dennisha.
Hello, how are you?
Good, you?
I'm good. I am Dennisha D, the CEO of Top Notch Business Solutions, and I am a business consultant. So what I do is give business owners advice on any problems that they're having, or aspiring business owners. I'll help them start their business up. And that's mainly it. You're welcome.
And we have next Miss Raven.
Hi, my name is Raven. I am the founder and owner of Sugar Ray Shea. It is an all-natural skincare line that I designed due to the fact that I have eczema and could not find anything to assist with that. So that's me. I'm Raven.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We do thank you all for being on this show today. We really do. Today we'll be talking about sole proprietorship, a little bit of LLC, corporations, and nonprofit. But before we get into all that, we gotta go pay a couple of bills, and we'll get back with y'all.
Attention content creators, do you have a great podcast, short film series, and need a home to show it to millions of households, plus countless smartphone users? Streets TV is hip-hop for the world. Contact us at streetstvworldwide@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at Streets TV World. It's Streets TV, hip-hop for the world.
All right, and we're back. So once again, welcome to the Make It Make Sense podcast. And it's actually a good thing that we're discussing business structure today. I've heard a lot of great things, and I've heard a lot of bad things, as far as business structure. It can be a partnership, it can be a sole proprietorship, it can be an LLC. So an experience that I've definitely known from someone personally is they had a partnership for, I want to say, at least 2 to 3 years, about 4 or 5 years, somewhere around in there. And they had a company, it was a power plant they were running at the time. They, had trucks, they would make shipments, deliveries, things of that sort. And one day, something went wrong in the lab, and everything just caught on fire. It was literally burnt to the ground, And so once that happened, it went live on the news. It was on CNN, it was on Fox 5. All the news stations covered it because they were a major company, and they distributed a lot of great materials at that time. So when that happened, the friend that I know, a personal friend of mine, his business partner, it was a partnership they were running at the time. And he just kind of up and left. The partner just, changed his phone number, changed his address, and just kind of left the country, just moved on, just kind of left the load on him. So his credit crashed. That's crazy. The business crashed. That's crazy. And he had to rebuild and take steps to get his credit back up so that he could get his business license back and things of that sort. So the banks would, be able to lend him money and things of that sort. Right. So what kind of, what do you think about that?
I mean, I ran into some type of instances as well where people didn't have LLCs or whatever, and they were just sole proprietors, and they personally got sued.
Oh wow!
Right, and losing a lot of their own personal things, and not just not on the business side, right? Yeah. So, I mean, business structure I think is very important, but we got a couple of guests to let us know what they think. So, with what he just said and some experience that y'all may have, what do y'all think about how important business structures may be to y'all? We're gonna start with Miss Raven.
I think that, well, first of all, that's terrible to be left with, kind of left with the whole responsibility. Definitely if it was built with two parties. Me personally, I think that it is really necessary, first of all, to understand what you're getting into prior to building a business, who you're dealing with, and understanding the purpose of why y'all even started in the first place. I mean, overall, that's kind of bad. Like, you should never leave a person hanging like that. Definitely, if you started something, you're supposed to finish it together. That doesn't leave a good taste.
Ma, I see you down there. What do you think about it?
I agree with what Raven said. It should have been on both individuals, but yeah, that's tragic, and for their business as well, for everything to have burned down and building it up to just have that as outcome. It's terrible.
Sure.
And Dennisha, with your expertise, how can how did something like that go about? Like, what is your thought on that?
If they had protected themselves with an LLC, then they probably wouldn't have been stuck with those liabilities. So that's why it's important to go the legal route instead of just having a sole proprietorship.
For sure. And also, I believe under like a partnership or something, both parties need to actually be able to sign everything. So maybe they weren't protecting themselves completely, right? So, I mean, sometimes people have things that's on the table that they just sign and leave somebody else out of it and don't actually build that partnership legal.
Exactly.
Right.
I was just going to say that it has to be a legally binding contract between both parties. And it also has to be a mutual agreement. So if something does tank, we share this load.
Right.
If it does flourish, we still share this load.
Right.
So definitely a great topic. And in regards to why do you all feel business structures are so important? What is your thought as far as that why do you all have the business structures you have, and why was that important to you? And we'll start with Raven on that one.
So for that exact reason of that story is exactly why I went the route that I went, because I didn't want to have any mishaps dealing with, another partner not carrying their load or whatever. I can bank on me. I can always bank on me. And it's just a lot easier to deal with it that way.
I'm sorry. What business did you choose?
Oh, which one did I choose?
Yeah, which one did you
LLC. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Gotcha. We're gonna go with Miss Dennisha.
I have an LLC, and I think it's important because it covers me legally. And also it makes me more attractive to investors when I'm looking for funding or capital.
Gotcha. Big. That's big. Funding is big. Capital is big.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that we kind of shy away from, and we seem to not be able to get capital a lot of the times because maybe we're not legally binding or looking at something in a legal sense. So, Miss Mott, what business structure do you have, and why did you choose that?
All right. Well, just like the other ladies, I chose an LLC, and I chose an LLC because it offered limiting personal liabilities. So if anything happened, like with the story you just told about, somebody that you knew that owned the business, my personal assets, like my home, my cars, my bank account would, you know, be collected as in debt for my business debt. So that's why I chose an LLC.
And okay, just to backtrack a little bit, Dennisha, is there any way you can break down each business structure for us and just kind of, you know, share a little bit more information on that?
Well, LLC is a limited liability company, so it helps, you know, protect your personal assets. A corporation is when you have multiple members and you want to separate your business from your self-employment. And a nonprofit organization is when you don't intend to sell or, you know, sell anything.
Thank you so much for the clarification. Honestly, a lot of people don't, understand that as well. So getting into it a little bit deeper, did you all? Well, I'll start with Miss Mai on this, and then go with Miss Raven. And but did you all seek any counsel or hire a professional to do your paperwork when you were signing up for your LLCs?
All right, well, to answer your question, yes. When I first went to go and get my LLC, I went to the website and I was lost. I'm not gonna lie. I was lost and didn't know where to begin. I looked at the form and I was confused. So I did go to Rocket Lawyers, and from there, I completed the whole process to obtain my LLC. It was an easy process through them. And I got my EIN as well. One thing I didn't know, but I'm learning now, because it's all learning experience, that you did not have to pay for that. Unfortunately, I paid for my EIN, but that's because I didn't know an EIN is, for people that don't know, it's a federal tax ID. So yeah, that's what happened. But it's a learning experience, but I did seek help to obtain my LLC.
Gotcha.
Okay, good. So you hit a learning curve with the EIN, which never shy away from that. So now you know for your future reference, but you have it now, so you're good to go.
And now you actually help somebody else that won't fall into that same trap. So we appreciate that. Miss Raven, can you please shed some light on it, please?
So my godbrother is actually an attorney with the Kyler Law Firm. I actually reached out to him to get some assistance. And he basically, told me what to do. And I just applied everything. He feels like, and I too feel like it's necessary for me to know how to do it so that I can teach somebody else also how to do it. So I did go through the process of doing the LLC and everything, then going over to the SBA website, to the government website and getting my EIN. I also play around on the SBA.gov website as well. To kind of get additional information on, building and continuing to build. So yes, I did reach out for help.
Definitely, good thing you shared those links as well. Hopefully we can, once we, attach everything and send it out, we'll be able to put those links down. And you all can definitely visit the sites like Raven just stated, and just follow the instructions and, go about your business and move forward and make it make sense for yourself.
So we're gonna go to Miss Dennisha. Of course, you are a professional, but tell us some things that you went through in the process.
I do a lot of self-research and discovery. So I did do my LLC by myself, but I do require help for when I'm doing my taxes. That's the main thing I will seek for a professional for.
Gotcha.
Okay. Are there certain like errors, or have you seen people you've worked with run into these things? Like when they come to you seeking for help and they've tried or went ahead and did things without a consultant. Have you seen people run into so many errors, and how do they bounce back from that?
I think that some people just don't do enough research, so they don't know every aspect of starting their business. So it always helps to get advice from a business consultant. And mainly, we just help people if they don't know what they're doing or if they haven't done the research. I think that's the main thing.
For sure. Well, we do really appreciate those responses.
Right.
But of course, bills need to be paid, and we gotta pay some of those. So we'll be right back after these messages.
They always gon' be jealous when you on the way up. Just keep doing you. We gon' stick together like some Elmer's glue. Feeling like the greatest since I found you. My whole life has changed. Seeing better days. Never felt this way. So I just like to say, you the one I can't do without. That's without a doubt. Baby, I just can't live without you.
We're back.
We are back.
So, as we come back here, we got a few things that we want to address as far as applying for the business structure and just sharing, like I said, your experiences. What or if any have you all had any personal obstacles that you had to get over to get to this point in your life? What made you all want to go ahead and push the button forward and start these companies? And let's start with mine.
All right. Well, I actually started my art career about 2 years ago when I actually sold my first piece of art. But it wasn't until I actually, it was a job that came up for me to do a mural in a school, and I couldn't take the job because I was not licensed, and that was crushing. So that's when I decided to go ahead and just make my business official and become licensed. So that's what I did. I got an LLC, and that's where I am right now. Now, the obstacles that I faced or anything right now, it hasn't been major, but I can say that I feel more confident in me as a business owner, selling my work, protected with my LLC.
And I do remember you touching base on your last post when you were posting everything. I remember you saying that. That's why I wanted to, get base and touch base on that. So thank you for that. Next person, Raven.
So I started my first job when I was 13 years old at 2000 Art Studio. My uncle owns an art studio. So when I started to venture into the whole business realm, I reached out to him and I'm one of those type of people that like to get ahead of the curve. So I reached out to him and asked him what are the basic things that I need. And so I can't personally say that I've necessarily in Sugar Ray Shay ran into any mishaps without having everything lined up, because I reached out to every resource that I had before I actually pushed everything out to make sure that I was doing it at least halfway right. So I didn't really have any issues with that. However, I have helped other people overcome obstacles, making sure that you do full research on your business name prior to really pushing it, making sure that no one else is using it. Also taking the trademark tool, kind of doing a little bit of research on there, because it's a lot of stuff to go through to even, make sure that everything's correct. And, just those are the basic things, just going through all of the different types of businesses to make sure that it's not exactly the same as somebody else's. So as Dennisha said earlier, one of the main things to do is to make you do total research on everything. Mm-hmm.
And then Dennisha, do you have anything to follow up from that?
I started my LLC because I got tired of being called a freelancer. So when I got it, it gave me more responsibility, and it made me feel like I had to really, be able to contract with different businesses.
For sure. We really appreciate all those responses. really appreciate, everything that everyone has had to say today.
Yeah, some good
Honestly,
information.
I mean, we had people talking about how they had to pay for their EINs, went through that. And also, we had some great links that were threw out there, like Rocket Lawyer, which is a great, tool and resource for sure. We even, we touched on the LLC, the risque part of not having, and then the responsibility and the confidence that you build within your company and yourself when you do have that, limited liability of not, getting sued for personal gain from somebody else. So, I mean, we really appreciate all these responses. They have been wonderful, honestly.
Is there anything you all are working on now that you would like to share? And we'll begin with Raven on that one.
Right now, I'm kind of quiet about it. So I do have a few filling out. I do want to say that I am providing some products to the homeless shelters this Christmas. And if anybody wanted to be involved, I'm more than happy to have you all on board with that. Also, I do socks and teddy bears and a host of things for our elderly community. A lot of them are in these nursing homes and in these facilities, and they don't have families to come visit them. So if y'all would like to join or anything like that, and just go in, say hey, or pick up some socks or whatever the case may be, I'm more than happy to doing that as well. But I do it every year. I do that every year.
Nice. It's always good to get back, especially you're paid for it. So definitely a good thing you're doing there. And Mai, you want to share anything that you got working on coming up?
I do. I am actually working on my website. It is artbymarjorieregistry.com. And so I will be having my art and stuff on sale. So, please come and check me out and spread the word. And that's basically what I'm working on now. And I'm currently working on a children's room. So Super Smash Bros. So stay tuned for that. And also, Raven, if you can, what area are you in so that I can, or just put you in messaging?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
Is asking?
One more time?
Was that your question? Like what area, like the Atlanta area?
Yeah.
I'm here in Atlanta. We can definitely exchange information. I love your art in the background, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
See you later.
Okay.
And Miss Dennisha?
Right now, I'm working on my YouTube channel. I'll be giving out free business advice. Check me out, Top Notch Business Solutions, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I think it's pretty good, day to day, man. I think the people, they came in, dropped their 2 cents. I think we made it make sense for the people today.
I think so too, man. And I really, once again, just want to say we appreciate you all for sharing everything that you did, plugging yourselves in. And we, like I said, touched on a little bit of everything, the pros and cons of LLC, why it's important to have an LLC behind your name, the confidence that it also supports in your business brand and within yourself as well. So we just want to say thank you. And once again, we have Raven from Sugar Ray Shades. We have Mai from Registre. And then we have Dennisha with
Top Notch. And y'all, the owner is top notch for coming in and serving and watching us today. We really want to appreciate y'all, man. We really want to thank y'all for coming out. And y'all be safe. Have a Merry Christmas. And
Thank you.
podcast. All right.
Thank you.